Welcome back, everyone. This is part 3 of the King's Castle. King James, along with Blair Chopin, who just did a very weird dance move, which I have no idea why. Huh?
I was telling Seamus to come and get it. Not my booty, but...
Be careful. Because,
I want to wrestle Seamus in a steel cage match.
Because I doubt you've ever actually seen a ginger snap, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I have. I've seen many gingers. The gingers are very irritable people.
If you don't know what exactly we're talking about, just go back and look at the last segment. You'll understand it.
James, more angry people. People with red hair are Cubans.
I have no idea where that's going. But anyway.
Now, I've been around... Cuban people are great. They're wonderful. They have great cigars. I've smoked them on a cruise a few times. But they don't have an inside voice, James. They're like you. They're always screaming, and they're always mad at me.
I do not always scream.
I tried to be friends with a girl from Cuba one time, and she called me a stupid gringo 94 times in 1 minute.
What?
And I was just walking. She was like, "Stupid gringo!"
I don't know if I believe that. I think you're getting a little too personal for the show here.
James, I'm just saying. Girls from Cuba, and Cubans especially, they're very passionate people.
Well, I'm not going to deny that, but I'd rather switch the subject here because I don't want to get myself in any more trouble.
James, if you end up dating a Cuban girl, do not cheat on her, because I think they would just look at you and your neck would snap off. Just like the hellfire in their eyes would just break you.
Well, you know what they say, hell hath no fury like that of a woman scorned.
No, like that of a Cuban woman scorned.
Warning taken and received.
Alright. But anyways, what were we talking about before we got on Cuban women?
We're supposed to be breaking down the card for SummerSlam, and we got a couple others to talk about, including a tag team match between Enzo and Amore and Colin Cassidy against Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho.
Oh, God.
Now, this is interesting because...
Can we sign a petition for Chris Jericho to retire?
Why would you want to do that?
I don't like looking at him anymore. He's got kind of a beer belly going on, which is fine.
Well, I gotta ask you this, though.
I think he could do other things.
I gotta ask you this. Do you agree with his sentiment that he is the best in the world at what he does?
Oh, no.
I don't either. Which is why I'm going to steal a line from Mr. Jericho here. But in my opinion, Mr. Jericho, after Enzo and Kaz are done with you and Kevin Owens, you, sir, will never, ever be the same again.
That really hurt my ears. I felt like I was on an airplane. That's how much my ears are hurting. My ears are just ringing now.
Sorry.
Let me ask you a question. Because this is a weird spot, I feel like, for Kevin Owens to be in. Has the WWE kind of given up on Kevin Owens?
I don't think so, because he was in the title picture for a long time, because we can't forget that he is a former 2-time Intercontinental Champion, and that he had a great series of matches during his debut with John Cena, which in my opinion are still instant classics.
Right, I agree with you. But I thought he was going to pivot from that moment with Cena into being like a title contender.
Well, let's think about this. As I mentioned, this is kind of a new alliance on Raw between Owens and Jericho. Maybe this is the way for Kevin Owens to pivot. Because let's not forget, Jericho is a decorated champion as a singles competitor, no doubt about it.
Right.
But every time he's been a tag team champion, he's had a different partner. So maybe this is a way for them to try to build Kevin Owens up and use Jericho as kind of an on-screen mentor.
I guess
maybe something to think about there, huh?
Yeah, the only problem I see with that is I don't really see Chris Jericho taking on the on-screen mentor with his current character.
Well,
he would have to pivot a lot as a character.
The thing about it is, he's always trying to interfere in Kevin Owens' matches to his advantage.
That's true. So, like, you're saying if he took, like, the role of a mentor, but, like, being, like, kind of a heel mentor.
Right.
Where they're kind of tag teaming together for Kevin Owens to rise up kind of the ranks, so to speak.
Yeah. And
makes sense.
And then eventually Kevin Owens would turn on Jericho because he thinks Jericho's trying to steal his spotlight and try to get some of it back because Jericho's the better.
Yeah, I mean, eventually there would have to be a power struggle between them, right? That's how those things end.
Exactly. And I think that was what they were trying to do before when they teamed him with AJ Styles, but it didn't work out because AJ hadn't been in the company for that long, so therefore they were trying to build him up to bigger, better things, so they turned him into a main event guy.
Right.
As far as AJ is concerned. So that's
I really like Owens though. I really do.
That's an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory.
Now
they paid the big bucks.
Now this one is kind of a given as far as I'm concerned. New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods against the Club, Gallows and Anderson, for the tag team titles. I gotta say, Gallows and Anderson probably have this one in the bag. Because Biggie Langston is injured, as we talked about last week. And the fact is, they've been playing mind games with the New Day for weeks.
Okay.
And ultimately, even though they try to promote the power of positivity, my sense is that positivity may be their downfall. Because if they can survive, if they survive SummerSlam with the tag team titles still intact, that means they will have held on to the titles for a year. Which in my opinion, is easier said than done. Especially if you're going against a team with as good chemistry as the Club.
Right. I understand your point. But I also understand another thing. That no one... I think the New Day is the most popular thing in wrestling. Well, if not the most popular, the thing that gets the crowd going the most.
Today?
Yeah. And I think if they won at SummerSlam, that would be a huge moment. But
without question.
And the fans would love that. But I also see where you're coming from. With the amount of time they've been kind of the top brand and trying to push Gallows and Anderson forward a little bit, I think wouldn't be that surprising either.
Now, another match that's kind of piqued my interest is the rematch between former Divas champion, former Women's champion, Charlotte, and the current champion, Sasha Banks. Who you choose in that one?
Well, I think we discussed this one. I still want Ric Flair to interfere in this one. And
you still think Ric Flair is going to interfere and cost Charlotte the match?
Well, I think he's going to be involved somehow. He's either going to be involved and come in there and, hit Charlotte with a steel chair and it's going to start a big rivalry. Or he's going to go in there and, he's going to be the reason Charlotte wins.
Yeah.
And Charlotte's going to hate him for that. So either way, it's going to be a rivalry between those two eventually.
Well,
either you cost me the title or you didn't have to help me, Daddy. I was going to win anyway.
I don't really believe... I gotta say, I don't think they'd allow for intergender matches, especially now that they're PG. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be a match. I just think it would be like something they would do because it would be very high drama.
Could be. Well, and finally...
You never let me have my moment, Daddy.
Finally, we gotta talk about the Intercontinental Championship. The Miz defending against the young upstart Apollo Crews. Who are you picking in this one?
I don't know, but I like Apollo Crews' name. It's like a combination of Apollo Creed and Ted Cruz. Which just sounds like a weird combination to me. But,
So you're calling that a mashup, huh?
Yeah, give Apollo the victory. What does I don't know why Miz is still around.
Me either.
Like, it seems like the Miz thing has run its course.
He talks way too much as far as I'm concerned.
Plus, Mizdow was the only great thing about the Miz.
Which, by the way,
That was great.
Which, by the way, I have some news for you concerning Mizdow.
What's that?
I discovered last week that apparently Sandow has signed with Impact Wrestling.
Whoa!
And he has now changed his name to Aaron Rex.
Aaron Rex.
Yes. Breaking news here on the King's Castle, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, you just broke that live on air. Interesting, because you rarely see someone go from the WWE
To Impact.
to Impact. Right.
Well,
Except when Impact was first starting, and they kind of
right.
pulled the WCW move of attracting kind of the older generation of superstars.
Exactly.
But nowadays, it seems very rare. Speaking of, you want to give us our weekly TNA update?
Well,
What's going on in TNA?
Well, tonight Gail Kim continues her quest to kind of reestablish herself as the number one contender for the Knockouts Championship when she takes on her friend Jade in a one-on-one match. And remember, if Gail Kim loses one match, then she will never get another title match for the rest of her career.
That sucks.
And that edict was laid down because this year, Gail Kim will be the first female inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame.
Oh, good for her.
The night before Bound for Glory. So we'll see where that goes. Plus,
Is TNA still on the TV Guide channel?
well,
It's not a good network to
yes,
show on.
and by the way, it's now known as Pop.
Yeah, they need to get on another network.
You hear that, Dixie?
That's a weird network
You need
for
to
a
sign
session.
another deal. But anyway, when we come back...
Now following Baywatch, professional wrestling.
Anyway, when we come back, we're going to give you our picks for what's hot for the week. So stay right there.
So, like, they went from Sci-Fi to the TV Guide channel?
No, they went from Spike to Destination America. Then they went from Destination America to Pop.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be on the what was formerly known as the TV Guide channel if you're a live show.
My sentiments exactly.
But
Stay right there, folks.
But whatever.